What's up, you guys? It's StrangeLuv here, and you read the title correctly. I am in fact playing SMITE. And I know that might come as a surprise to most of you, since I normally play a lot of Call of Duty and I live stream it, and that might be why you're even here at the channel. But the truth of the matter is, Call of Duty Ghosts just really hasn't been maintaining my interest lately. I get really frustrated at that game, as most of you guys know from the live streams, and really that's the only time I play Call of Duty is during the Sunday night live streams, because it's just so much more tolerable with a group of friends. But by myself, Call of Duty just kind of sucks. So instead, I started playing SMITE. Now, there's still a lot of people out there who haven't heard of SMITE and they're not familiar with the game, which is fine, because it's still in beta, and I'm pretty new to the game myself, so I don't expect everybody to have played SMITE. But for those of you who don't know what SMITE is, let me bring you up to speed really quick. So SMITE is a free-to-play MOBA, as most MOBAs tend to be, and it's very similar to games like Dota 2 and League of Legends, but the main difference is SMITE is actually in the third person, and it's centered around getting skill kills. So that's where it kind of stands out from most of the MOBAs out there, and chances are, if you guys have played League of Legends or Dota or anything like that, you've already gave SMITE a try, and everybody has their own opinions about it. But personally, I've tried Dota 2 and League, and I don't really prefer having to click around the map to move my character, and it was a little bit overwhelming for me, to be honest. And when I started playing SMITE, I don't know if it was just the inner Call of Duty in me or something, but I liked the fact that I could control my character, and my character's ability to get kills and so on was based on my own personal skill, and I like that, and I actually found it a lot more fun. I felt more engaged with my character, and I felt more, you know, into the game, so to speak. But I am still new to the whole MOBA genre in general, but my opinion is based around the fact that SMITE has kept me entertained for the past couple weeks for hours and hours on end, so take that for what it is. And if you guys haven't given SMITE a try, it's free to play, so if you have a decent PC, I definitely recommend you go give it a shot. So anyway, before I get into the gameplay, I wanted to apologize for two things. First off, I'm sorry that there's these awkward little black bars on the top and bottom of the video. It turns out that a lot of my SMITE videos recorded this way, and I'm not really sure what happened. I guess my resolution just isn't correct or something, so I'm gonna have to go back and fix that next time I start recording. But hopefully it doesn't bug you guys too much. And secondly, I'm so sorry for not uploading any videos lately, but as I said before, I really haven't been playing Call of Duty. I've been playing SMITE for the past couple weeks, and the only time I play Call of Duty is once a week during the Sunday night live streams, as most of you probably know, and the live streams just auto-post to the channel, so that's why those videos are even up in the first place. But, you know, I haven't been into Call of Duty, so if that's, you know, something that you were expecting to see a lot of, you're probably not gonna see it, so just giving you a heads up. But in the past couple weeks, I've been playing a lot of SMITE, just trying to get used to the game. It's a completely new experience for me, and I'm trying to, you know, learn all the characters and understand all the complexities to it, because, again, I'm still pretty new to MOBAs, and so this is like a whole new thing for me to sort of wrap my mind around. I'm just used to running around in Call of Duty and shooting things, which, you know, really any monkey could do that, so it's not that complicated. But SMITE is definitely providing a slight challenge because it's still skill-based and I want to be good at the game. So I've been spending a lot of time trying to understand what builds are best for what characters and so on, and eventually I'd like to also get the God Pack just so that I can have all the gods available to me and the new gods as well. But basically, SMITE has me in its grips, and it doesn't look like it's letting me go anytime soon, so the reason that I'm making this video is actually because I wanted to sort of test the waters a little bit and warm you guys up to the idea of me posting SMITE videos on my channel. Now, considering how popular a lot of MOBAs are, like League of Legends and Dota 2, I figured that there's actually a pretty high chance that a lot of you guys either play MOBAs or even play SMITE yourselves. So, since I am a new member of the SMITE community, so to speak, I wanted to try and tap into the MOBA side of you guys, giggity, just in case a whole bunch of you are closet SMITE players and I just don't know it. So if you guys could do me a favor and write down in the comments below whether or not you'd like to see more SMITE videos on my channel, and if so, what kind of videos you'd like to see, I would just appreciate that so much. Now, to be honest with you guys, I've been a little bit nervous and hesitant to start making SMITE videos, simply because, like I said, I'm pretty much a SMITE noob, and I wasn't sure how you guys were going to react for one thing, And also, even though Smite's in beta, it's been in beta for over a year, and there's plenty of people who know the ins and outs of this game way better than I do, of course, and so I guess I felt a little bit intimidated, like I have a lot of catching up to do as far as what it takes for me to be good at this game. But on the bright side, since I have started playing Smite toward the end of its beta, I think the game is fully released in March, everything that I'm learning in the game right now is probably a lot closer to what the final product is going to be. And I've noticed that a lot of YouTube videos about Smite are a bit outdated because they've made a ton of changes throughout the beta that a lot of videos are obsolete, and so I kind of am skirting that problem unless they make some grand changes between now and 3 months from now to the game, which I doubt, because then it would be a completely different game. I'm actually kind of happy that I'm starting now instead of a year ago or something. So overall, I'm looking forward to posting more Smite, and I already have some other ideas in the works as far as videos go, so hopefully you guys will enjoy the videos irregardless. Now, I know we're about halfway through the video here, but I did want to address the gameplay a little bit. So in the background, I am playing as Loki on a 5v5 arena match, and I've been playing a lot of arena mode lately, and I really like arena mode simply because the matches don't last quite as long as they do for Conquest or Joust, and for some reason I feel like arena is a lot more casual, even though that's probably not true. You still have to have a balanced team, and you have to have people playing their roles effectively, but I feel like a lot of new players just want to go out there and kill horror, and maybe that's just my inner Call of Duty player talking, but that's something that sort of caters to my interests as far as my gameplay style goes. I just want to go out there and try to kill everything, which is something that I really need to change if I'm going to get better at playing Smite, because Smite is so focused around having a good team and being able to communicate with everyone effectively and everybody playing their roles appropriately, and it's not all about kill whoring, and I feel like a lot of people who just start out playing Smite have that mentality, especially if you're playing a mode like Arena, because it's set up very much just like a team deathmatch sort of setup, so it's very tempting to just try and get as much kills as you can, but that's not necessarily the goal when you're playing Smite. Now, when I was playing as Loki for this round, I had a couple things in mind, and I'll get to the items that I used for my build in just a second. But when the round started, I knew the enemy team had an Ares, and I normally hate playing against Ares because it's such a pain when you get a good team on the enemy team working with Ares to try and do all of their ultimates when Ares pretty much sucks you in, because Ares has a really powerful crowd control ability where he grabs a whole area of people with his chains, sucks you in, and then stuns you. And in that little stun period of a couple seconds, you're really vulnerable to having other people on his team just destroy you with their ultimates. So you need an escape route, basically. And so I told everybody right before the match started, okay, they have Ares, make sure you get purification beads if necessary. And purification beads are just this active item where it helps you get out of crowd control abilities. So as you can see, just a second ago, I got grabbed by Ares, and I was able to escape from his chain just by using the purification beads, and I ran off. Now, normally with Loki, I would just suffer the consequences of getting caught by Ares' chains, but also Loki doesn't have a fast escape type of ability. A lot of characters like Neith, Onhor, and some other characters have an ability to jump away to escape when they're being chased, and Loki really doesn't have that. His number one ability lets him go invisible and run a little bit faster, so that helps me get away a lot of times, but if I need to just jump away out of an area, I can't do it. So usually if I get grabbed by Ares, it's pretty lethal. So I was happy to find out that I could use purification beads to counter crowd control abilities, because I didn't want to use an item slot to put an item that combated crowd control when I had to sacrifice something else that I really wanted to use that would give me power or attack speed or something like that. So just keep that in mind. If you have an Ares on the other team, or just a character that tends to do crowd control effects, use those purification beads. They do have a cooldown time, but it helps you get out of those crowd control effects for a few seconds, and that could pretty much save your character's life. So I hope it all works out for you guys like it did right here for me. Now, as far as an item build goes with Loki, I try to pick items that increase his attack speed and his critical strike chance, because Loki's very dependent on his basic attacks, being that he's a very stealthy sort of assassin, but his basic attacks are also very short range, so you have to pretty much be right on top of the enemy to do any damage to them. But if the enemy is able to get away from you, you really don't have a distance ability besides your ultimate that you can do to catch up to that enemy and finish them off. So when I'm playing Arena, at least, I like to start off with the Frostbound Hammer, because that actually gives a 25% slowing effect on the enemy when you hit them with your basic attacks when you max out the Frostbound Hammer. So that really helps, because I've found that when I'm playing as Loki, I could be getting a bunch of really lethal hits on an enemy, and they're able to just run away, and I can't catch up to them, and especially if I've already used my ultimate, I'm pretty much screwed. I can't do anything about it, and they just get away. So I've really found it useful to use the Frostbound Hammer, because that'll slow down the enemy just enough for me to get a couple extra critical hits in on them, and they're able to die, because Loki has a bleeding effect also, depending on if you use your abilities correctly. Now, for the rest of the build, it really depends on how the enemy team is playing, and if you're getting hit a lot, you might want to put on some sort of physical or magical defense, and that might change up the normal build that I like to do. I might put on the Hide of the Nemean Lion instead of putting on, I don't know, Executioner or something like that. But normally, I like to have Rage, Executioner, and Deathbringer somewhere in my build, because Executioner and Rage do the attack speed boost, plus Rage gives you the critical strike bonus, and so does Deathbringer, and Deathbringer also boosts up your power by, like, I think plus 50. So that combo of items really makes Loki quite powerful when you're getting those basic attacks in, and especially if you're using Loki's number 3 ability that gives him an increased critical strike chance, and also you're putting the bleed on the enemies. You're pretty much a powerhouse if you play those items correctly. So those are the items I pretty much use for every build of Loki. It was Frostbound Hammer. I think Ninja Tabbies are pretty useful, especially because they have the cooldown bonus. Executioner, Deathbringer, and Rage. Whatever you want for your last item is up to you, and again, it really depends on how the enemy team is playing. If you're getting really pummeled by them, you might want to increase your defenses a little bit, or you could just max out that critical strike chance and put Golden Bow on or something like that. So it's really up to you, but those are the items that I like to use pretty regularly with Loki. But if you're new to using Loki, my only advice would be to just be kind of patient with the character and be a little bit more careful with him, because he is more stealthy. And when I first started using Loki, I was a little bit too impatient and too aggressive with his character, and I would get killed all the time. So I had to learn to kind of hang back, wait to see an enemy that has low health, and then go in for the final strike to kill him. And that seemed to work out a lot better. And of course, it also depends on how well your team is working together, so on and so forth. And overall, I would just say pick your battles wisely with any character, and know your character's strengths and weaknesses, and know who you can and can't go up against on the enemy team. For this match, I tried my best to stay away from Ares, because I know that unless he had almost no health, there wasn't going to be a way for me to kill him. Even if I used all of my abilities, he was probably so built up on his defense that I really wouldn't damage him too much unless I had a group go in and try to kill him. So I stayed away from Ares most of the match, except for that one part where I got grabbed by his chain. And in general, I just try to go for other physical characters that are a little bit less defensive, and it seems to work out a lot better for Loki. So that pretty much wraps up my very first commentary on SMITE, and it's been kind of a challenge on a different level, simply because I've never commentated for this long before. Talking for a straight 15 minutes or so has kind of made me a little bit hoarse, sounding a little bit manly, and who knows, maybe you're into that kind of thing. But anyway, please let me know in the comments below whether or not you would like to see more SMITE, or what kind of videos you would like to see if you do like SMITE. I was thinking to do some tutorials, some god build guides. I have some other ideas in the works here. I won't reveal them just yet. I want to see what you guys say. But I do look forward to your feedback, and if you made it all the way to the end of this commentary, I admire your endurance. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and if you haven't played SMITE, it's free to play. I'll go ahead and put a link to their website in the description below so you can give it a try, and maybe we could even play together sometime. Alright guys, thanks for watching, stay strange my loves, and until next time, this is StrangeLuv signing out. Bye!